Overwatch has for years dominated the hero shooter genre and was absolutely massive, but with a couple of, well, a lot of terrible decisions from Blizzard and the Overwatch team, they slowly managed to turn this very respected and liked game into, well, a steaming hot pile of shit, basically. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They messed it up so badly that the game was the worst rated game according to user reviews on Steam. And honestly, Blizzard hasn't shown any interest or effort in trying to fix the state of Overwatch because, well, where would the players go? Like, what alternative is there that is on the same level as Overwatch? Where would they go? Why should they want to fix it? Because, like, they know there's no real threat. But now there's Marvel Rivals, and people are finally starting to leave Overwatch in huge amounts because now there's actually another place to go. And Rivals has shoved reality up Overwatch in Blizzard's face now, and well, they pretty much have to do something. So today we'll be going over the state of Overwatch, how Marvel Rivals is finally giving people what they want, and whether Overwatch can actually recover from this entire mess that they've made, or if it's already too late. Overwatch was released back in 2016, and it was a huge success. From the cool and unique characters and maps to the abilities and gameplay, the world loved Overwatch. It quickly became one of the largest shooters in the world, with a huge esports scene as well. Overwatch truly was, for a while, the game you would wake up early in the morning excited to play, and go to bed excited to play again the next morning. But all that came to an end, or else we wouldn't have this video. Now, Overwatch had seen brighter days even while still being Overwatch 1, but where everything truly crashed and burned is when Overwatch 2 finally was released. Overwatch 2 was announced at BlizzCon 2019, and a lot of improvements and exciting features were announced. But when the game actually released 4 years later in 2023, players experienced nothing but disappointment, as the game was pretty much just a worse version of the original Overwatch. Among the dropped features was the PvE hero mode, which was one of the primary things used to promote Overwatch 2. Like, this was the thing that was supposed to make Overwatch 2 a big deal. The game mode was supposed to feature a fully fledged progression system with talent trees, replayable missions, and hero customization for the PvE content. But in May 2023, only 5 months before the release, Blizzard announced that the mode was cancelled. They instead gave us a story mission feature, which was heavily criticized for being underwhelming and, worst of all, locked behind a paywall. Overwatch 2 was supposed to reinvigorate the franchise, but instead it turned a massive amount of its player base against them. Controversial monetization, scrap PvE mode, balancing issues, and generally not knowing what their players wanted made fans question the direction Blizzard was taking Overwatch in. One of the largest criticisms being how they prioritized monetization over player experience. However, Blizzard didn't really seem to care much because, as mentioned before, where should the players go apart from staying at Overwatch? Paladins? Yeah, no thanks. On a real note, Paladins is quite fun though. I would definitely give it a try. It's not for everybody, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. But then Blizzard finally got a reality check. Marvel Rivals appeared, a fast-paced hero shooter developed by NetEase in collaboration with Marvel, and it is already checking a lot of boxes that Overwatch has struggled with and winning over a ton of their players in doing so. Marvel Rivals had an extremely successful launch, easily becoming one of the most played games during the week of its launch. Streamers, pro players, and pretty much everyone flocked to the game to see what the hype was about, and the fact that it was free just made it even better. Now, one thing I will admit is that Marvel Rivals has a huge IP to back up the game. Marvel already owns a ton of already loved comic book characters that are loved by millions, which without a doubt has driven a lot of players to the game. However, it's not fair to say that this is the only reason people play the game, because they stick around. Not every Marvel game has had success just because of the characters it uses. But in Rivals' case, people are actually sticking around. So what exactly is keeping players at Marvel Rivals? Well, as mentioned, the roster certainly has its role, whereas Overwatch had to build an original cast, which they absolutely nailed, by the way, up until now at least. Is it just me that feels like a lot of the latest heroes just don't really fit into Overwatch? I don't know, they just feel a little bit out of place. I don't know if that's just me. Anyways, in Marvel Rivals, you can play as Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, and so many other characters from the Marvel Universe, which people have like more or less grown up with and have a strong connection to. However, it's not just about recognizable heroes, because that alone won't make players stick around. The team up feature is a pretty cool feature where, as said in the name, you can team up with specific characters to get advantages. For example, teaming up Scarlet Witch and Magneto will allow Magneto to use an ability where he can use a sword to strike down the enemy. Teaming up Black Panther and Magic opens up a portal which Black Panther can use to teleport to other locations. Groot and Rocket will allow Rocket to ride on Groot's shoulders, receiving a damage reduction buff. You get the point. Rivals' gameplay is also really nice, which I think surprised a lot of people. I think a lot of people were afraid that the gameplay was gonna feel clunky and just weird, a little bit unpolished, but that's not the deal at all. I personally haven't experienced any bugs or flaws when I've played, but there are definitely people who have played a lot more than me, and so might have noticed something that I haven't. But generally speaking, the gameplay itself feels good, and the abilities are really well made, and super unique as well. It's also in third person, which I think was an interesting choice, considering how first person shooters have been meta for a good while now, but it has worked out really well for them. And on top of all this, Marvel Rivals seems to be embracing a faster content cycle, something that Overwatch fans have been begging Blizzard for. We're only in the second season and have already gotten a bunch of new content, so I hope they can keep that up. Oh yeah, for free, by the way. Now let's take a quick look at the criticism against Overwatch. Let's start with the most obvious one. Monetization. Back in Overwatch 1, even though monetization was still a thing, it wasn't as noticeable because you didn't necessarily depend on it. You didn't depend on spending real life money just to get something in the game. There were skins and cosmetics you could earn simply by just playing the game via the loot box system. However, now in Overwatch 2 and the move to a free-to-play game, to get anything, I mean anything, you will have to spend real life money, and a lot of it. Like, what are these prices? Skins, real money and crazy expensive. Other cosmetics, real money and crazy expensive. New characters, used to be real money and a crazy grind to achieve the last tier of the battle pass, until they finally changed it. And most recently, a knockoff version of Valorant's night market, Maximilian's Vault. It's crazy how we can't get anything new in Overwatch without monetization being a key part in it. Mythic Shop, expensive mythic currency, or like 50 achievable through the battle pass, which again, more real life money. Skins with kill and inspect animations, expensive. The most generous thing I've seen from the Overwatch team ever since Overwatch 2 came out are the name tags and competitive points that you can earn at the end of the season. I'm pretty sure it is that one weekend where you can get a huge amount of competitive points, pretty much allowing you to get a golden weapon or jade weapon now. But I'm pretty sure they take those nameplates from you when the season is over, because I had the red one and now I can't for the life of me find it again. And I now have the purple one, and I'm just waiting for the day that they take it away from me. So I'm not sure how that entire system works. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they take those nameplates away from you. So again, if you get something for free, you don't get to keep it. It's almost as dumb as the entire trial item system in PUBG, where you can open a crate and get, let's say, a pretty cool, actually it doesn't even have to be cool, you can get complete garbage, just anything. You open a crate, you get something, and you own it for like a day or two, and then they take it back. Whoever came up with this system deserves to be fired and have their kids taken away from them. I'm just kidding. Well, I think I am. Because honestly, who designed this system? And I think it was mostly in PUBG Mobile. You would open a crate and then you would get an item that you own for like 48 hours or something like that. There has been a lot of frustration over balancing issues. By the way, nerf Genji, hero reworks, and simply just a lack of meaningful updates. By the way, nerf Genji. It feels like Blizzard are just throwing in a bunch of changes whilst being blind and deaf to what players truly want. And there is no shortage in players actually voicing their opinions in what they want to see. Overwatch's rank system has been widely criticized too for being inconsistent and feeling unfair. A ton of players have pointed out that the ranking system just doesn't work properly and the competitive play just feels frustrating rather than rewarding. By the way, nerf Genji. Oh, and let's not forget that you cannot talk in Overwatch. You literally get banned for the slightest of things. It's so bad that people are literally afraid of talking in voice chat or text chat, not because they're shy or anxious or afraid that somebody will say something rude towards them, but because they might get banned for something that isn't even bad. I have literally resorted to playing the game with voice chat and text chat muted because it got to a point where I went to bed not knowing if I would wake up being able to play Overwatch the next day or if I was banned. Let's say there's somebody being rude as shit towards you and flaming you in either of the chats, in mass chat or team chat. If you as much as even respond with a simple fuck you and people decide to report you, banned. Overwatch is building a community made of snowflakes who can't tolerate the slightest of rough speaking, It's so fucking stupid, and you just constantly live in fear of actually talking. Overwatch is literally if you took Nick A30 and broke him into pieces and rebuilt him as a game. Like, am I totally wrong here? Like, I'm not even a toxic player, but if somebody flames me and I just say a fuck you, I have been banned for that. I'm pretty sure I was muted for a week. I couldn't talk for a week. So what exactly does all of this that has happened in the last couple of months mean for Overwatch, its current state, and the mass player dissatisfaction? It's certainly a huge wake-up call for Blizzard. They can no longer rely on any sort of loyalty alone. They need to step up their game, come with something new, and most importantly, listen to their community. There are so many people who are still loyal to Overwatch and truly want the best for the game, and Blizzard has disregarded those players for so long. And they sure as hell need to make better responses to criticisms and competitors than this pathetic garbage. Just gonna wait for a moment, let that sink in real quick. Like, how is this a professional response? If Marvel Rivals continues to succeed, Overwatch will have to adapt. The hero shooter genre has needed competition for a long time, and Marvel Rivals is the first significant threat to Overwatch and might just be the push that Overwatch needs to evolve and finally get out of this moronic autopilot cruise control mode they've been on. They actually have to make an effort to compete and keep their player base. And it seems like Blizzard are finally aware of the situation they've been forced in, as recently they released the Maximilian's Vault feature, which is by no means a good feature and just more monetization shoved in our faces. And I'm pretty sure nobody wanted this. But anyways, there was also this Overwatch Spotlight, where Blizzard have announced some huge changes. That's right, plural. Changes. And not only that, but to quote Blizzard themselves, they are groundbreaking changes to the PvP experience and the game as a whole. And it will all be revealed soon, so that's something I think not only the Overwatch community, but a lot of other players are really excited for. I think if this goes well, it could truly turn things around for Overwatch, because I myself, for example, have not totally abandoned Overwatch. I have absolutely zero reason or will or motivation to play the game right now, but if these changes are good, I could easily see myself play the game again. The game does need a lot of work though, and it will require effort from Blizzard. Nevertheless, Overwatch will always have a special place in my heart, and I do honestly want to see it succeed, so I am super excited for these changes, groundbreaking changes. But for now, we'll just have to wait, as the changes won't be revealed until like 2 weeks. At the end of the day, competition is needed, and most importantly, it's good for players. Whether you're an Overwatch fan or a Marvel fan excited for a new experience, the arrival of Marvel Rivals is going to and has shaken things up. Question is, how will Blizzard respond apart from their already pathetic excuses and responses? Let me know what you think, and what do you guys expect or hope to get from these groundbreaking changes from the Overwatch Spotlight announcement. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. That's pretty much it. See ya.